Spire Motorsports just announced the driver of the number 7 for 2026, and in a massive surprise to no one, it's Daniel Suarez. Daniel Suarez is going to join Spire Motorsports in 2026, replacing Justin Haley. Just a couple of weeks ago, Spire Motorsports confirmed that Justin Haley would not be returning to the number 7 car, meaning it would be the third different driver in 3 years in the number 7 car. Corey LaJoie back in 2024, and Justin Haley took over that at the end of 2024. Justin Haley, the full 2025, and now Daniel Suarez in 2026. Freeway Insurance, longtime sponsor of Suarez, will be joining the team. They even have the paint scheme already. So get yourself a look at it. Here it is. It's very pretty. Looks very similar to the one that they currently have on the 99 car. Though there's a little bit of different. There's a little bit of a Spire touch, I guess. They had a press conference just a little bit, 30 minutes ago or so. Asked some questions, talked about it, and then they had their press release, of course. So let's read some of the quotes from the press release. Daniel Suarez, a two-time NASCAR Cup Series race winner and 9-year veteran of NASCAR's premier division, will move to Spire Motorsports for the 2026 season to pilot the team's number 7 Chevrolet ZL1. Daniel Suarez said, "Spire's growth over the last few years is quite impressive. That's something I have mentioned to every single member who I have talked to at Spire Motorsports. I'm sure I'm not the only person who can see and that I'm excited to be a part of it now. I know that even with the growth Spire has had the last few years, it hasn't reached its full potential just yet. There is a lot more out there to achieve, and I want to be a part of that. I want to be part of that growth and use my experience to help my team and the entire company continue to grow." And then Spire co-owner Jeff Dickerson said, "I have a lot of respect for how Daniel has forged his path here and has become a mainstay in the industry, and it's easy to see how he's done it. He has a great attitude and never stops, and we look forward to having another veteran for our organization to learn from and bring a new perspective to move the number 7 team up the grid." And then Dan Taurus, who is the CEO of TWG Motorsports and fellow co-owner of Spire Motorsports, as the press release describes, "Daniel represents exactly the kind of talent and mindset that drives TWG Motorsports and our teams forward. He's proven he can win at the highest level and connect with fans across cultures. Bringing Daniel into Spire Motorsports reflects our commitment to building something different and unparalleled at TWG Motorsports." Dan Taurus, of course, TWG Motorsports, they are involved in the IndyCar, and then they're also involved in the Cadillac F1 program. So start the rumors. Max Verstappen to Cadillac. Because Max Verstappen and Daniel Suarez are brother-in-laws. Brother-in-laws. We're not here to talk about the English language today. Daniel Suarez is going to Spire Motorsports. What does this mean for both sides? For Spire, they get themselves a veteran driver who's won multiple Cup Series races to add alongside another veteran presence of Michael McDowell. And of course, they have a young driver, a very talented young driver, Carson Hocevar, still figuring things out, and he can lean on these guys to learn from, in a sense. Now, obviously, as I said a few minutes ago, the 7 car has been, it's been in an interesting place the last couple of years. There's been now 2 driver changes. The results have not been pretty. I think Justin Haley's like in the 30s in the points. It has not been a pretty year. But when you add the context to this year specifically, that team has been flipped upside down. Crew chief changed midseason. Pit crew changed midseason. Car chief changed midseason. Like, nothing has gone well for that 7 team. But when we look at the rest of Spire, Michael McDowell, 21st in points. Carson Hocevar, 23rd in points. Hocevar, 2 top 5s, has gotten close to winning a couple of times, actually. Michael McDowell has a couple of poles this year, and he got really close to winning at Texas, if you remember that. So, Spire Motorsports, remember, this used to be a backmarker team, a part-time team. And then, when they were competitive, it was like super speedways. Justin Haley won in 2019. Outside of that, that was really their only competitive spot. Well, now fast forward to 2025, and this is something that Suarez and Jeff Dickerson talked about in the press conference. This team has progressed a lot since they were the backmarkers, part-time team, only good at the super speedways. They've done well on road courses with Michael McDowell now. They've done pretty well at intermediates with both McDowell and Hocevar. As I said, McDowell got the pole at Vegas earlier this year. Almost won Texas earlier this year. Hocevar has a runner-up at Nashville, was running up front at Michigan before having a late tire issue. This team is starting to bring speed to a variety of tracks. They have massively progressed over the last 3 years, really, over the next-gen car era. And that's something that Daniel Suarez saw, and he wanted to go join it. Now, obviously, I think he wanted to stay at Trackhouse, but we don't have to get into that. But on the flip side of that, Daniel Suarez has seen a team, Trackhouse specifically, go from that kind of not so great to elevating themselves. Now, the Trackhouse one was more extreme. They started in 2021, and they were the Gen 6 car. Last year, the Gen 6, kind of a throwaway year, if we're being honest. And they didn't do terrible, but they were like 25th in the points. Yeah, 25th in the points. Average finish of 20th. Not pretty. Next gen car hits, and, Trackhouse takes off. Ross Chastain makes the Final Four. Daniel Suarez wins a race. Move on to 2023. Chastain wins multiple races again. Suarez wins again in 2024. We don't have to tell a whole Trackhouse story. But Daniel Suarez has been a part of a team that it wasn't the prettiest start, or it wasn't as pretty a few years ago, but they have progressed. They have upgraded. They are now expected to win races, and that's what Spire Motorsports ultimately wants to do. They want to win races. They want to improve themselves. They want to be, right now, in that playoff talk. Now, if the playoffs don't exist, they want to be in that talk every single week about, hey, we could win this week. And I'm not just talking about Talladega, Daytona, or a road course with McDowell, like Texas earlier this year, like Michigan, Charlotte, like you name it. Whenever they go to a track, they want to have their chance to win a race, or to feel like they can win a race and go run up there with the big teams. Hendrick, Gibbs, Penske, whoever it may be up there that week. So Spire, over the past few years, they've obviously got a lot of funding, the Gamebridge funding, the TWG, all that. But they've been very serious the last 2 or so years. They have massively improved. This is a great veteran addition. Suarez, a multi-time Cup winner, an Xfinity Series champion. Daniel Suarez's story is quite the story as well. Moved here from Mexico, had to learn English, and then, goes through the Joe Gibbs Racing Xfinity program, wins the Xfinity Championship. Carl Edwards out of nowhere retires. Suarez gets pulled up very quickly to go replace Carl Edwards. JGR tenure does not go as expected. He gets the boot. He ends up going to SHR for a year, gets the boot there, goes to the Gaunt brothers for a year. Gaunt brothers, I don't think they've existed since, or if they did, it was like 1 year after. After that, he found his home at Trackhouse. Stayed there for 4 or 5 seasons and won a couple of races, had some really high highs. And if we're being honest, this year is kind of an outlier for Suarez. Right now, he's 28th in the points. You can't deny this year has been ugly. This has not been a good year for Daniel Suarez. It started out really well. They had speed, runner-up at Las Vegas. They looked really good at the beginning of this year. Since then, it's been a disaster. As I said, 28th in the points. Outside of the Vegas race, can't think of a time when they were in contention for a win. Maybe that Daytona August race, but outside of that, I don't know. Whereas his teammates have both won a race. Zilich obviously heating up. We know that. But Suarez's numbers from 2022 to 2024, even 2023 when he missed the playoffs, 19th place finish, which was off compared to 2022 and 2024, but finished 19th in the points, 10th in the points in 2022 with the win at Sonoma, career highs in every statistical category. 2024, still a decent year. Won a race, 9 top 10s, 209 laps led. That's the second most in his career. Finished 12th in the points. So we'll see. We'll see how this combination works out. It looks like it's only a 1-year deal for now. And that's going to be, Spire. I think this was the 42 car a few years ago. They went from Ty Dillon to Noah Gragson to John Hunter Nemechek in a 3-year span. And they were just rapid firing these drivers every year. Don't turn that into the 7 car where you're just pulling drivers out, throwing drivers in every single year. Get some consistency. This 7 team desperately needs some consistency. Get a crew chief who will be there for 3 years. Get a pit crew that will stay there for 2 years. Pit crews are a little bit more flexible because I got the Hendrick contract, but some consistency on that team. Let's see how they do this year. and then give them another year maybe. Let's just give them a chance. But thanks for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Oh, yes. The Daytona 500 got moved for 2027. It's no longer on President's Day weekend because of the stupid NFL. Look, at the end of the day, I don't like moving our stuff based off the NFL because NFL, you're lame. But the fact of the matter is we're not competing with the NFL. So they had to do it. The NFL's expanding their season because I don't know why. Money, probably. But NFL wants to expand its season. They want to put the Super Bowl on President's Day weekend. So NASCAR is going to put the Daytona 500 the weekend after President's Day weekend starting in 2027. Good job, NFL. Thank you. You guys are so fun. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. The NFL has taken away our one weekend. No, I'm just kidding. We have a bunch of weekends, obviously. So I'm going off topic here.